Hey there guys, what's going on? Today we're back with another top 10 list discussing the top 10 best guns in Modern Warfare in multiplayer coming towards the end of Season 3. There are a number of new candidates on our list, but in my opinion, these are definitely the top 10 best guns in Modern Warfare as of right now. We'll be taking a look at the best guns in Warzone in a separate video coming soon, but just before we quickly do get into our number 10 slot, let's try and get this video to 24 likes. If this one gets to 24 likes by Friday, I'll be uploading the first video in our Flashback Friday series, taking a look back at one of my best videos from the past. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on so you don't miss out on that one or any more of the future videos coming up soon. So let's get straight into our list here. So starting off our list here, we do have in the number 10 slot, the Uzi. Previously, when the game was launched, the Uzi was basically a dead gun. Decent damage, but with a slow fire rate and sort of middling recoil control, made for one of the worst guns in the game. Multiple months later, we've got an SMG powerhouse capable of a 2-shot kill. If you're accurate in landing 2-shot headshots, you get the kill, no questions asked. 2 headshots is all it takes, and that's why we've got the Uzi in the 10 slot on our list. We do, of course, set it up like this as we do prefer. You particularly want the All That Glitters variant for the improved iron sights over the stock version, but for the attachments, we want the FSS Carbine Pro Barrel for the increased damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, the no stock for the movement speed and aim down sight speed, the .41 AE32 round mags for the increased damage and range, the stippled grip tape for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed, and of course the Merc foregrip just to maintain that recoil control and that hip fire accuracy. This is definitely one of the best Uzi class setups in the game at the moment, and a worthy new inclusion into our list of the best guns in Modern Warfare. In the 9 slot, we've got another newcomer here. The Bruen MK9 is the latest weapon added to Modern Warfare, and with the right attachments, it's basically an assault rifle in the LMG category. It's got a great combination of excellent range, damage, accuracy, handling speeds. Just a perfect combination. With this class setup that I'm about to show you, this is a very mobile LMG class, comparable to some of the best assault rifles. We've got as our attachments in the first slot the barrel with the Bruen 18-inch para barrel for the aim down sight speed and movement speed. We do have the TAC laser for the aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and of course aim walking steadiness. Again, we have the no stock for the movement speed, and you guessed it, aim down sight speed. We've got the 60 round mags for the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, detachable magazine, increased reload speed of 1.8 seconds rather than 15 minutes, and of course still 60 bullets to spray down range. And of course lastly the stippled grip tape for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Obviously here we do get a very fast handling mobile class with every one of our attachments aimed at improving these stats. I'd say the 60 round mag for this weapon is one of the best attachments in the game, and it basically carries this weapon to the number 9 slot on our list. In the 8th slot, we've got the first and only shotgun on this list. The Model 680 is an absolute powerhouse at the moment, presented with good attachment choices that make this weapon reliable at everything but the longest ranges, and by that I mean outside of about 20 meters or so. With the right combination of attachments and playstyle, we can hit one-shot kills with pretty good consistency. We do typically have to aim down sight a lot with this weapon to maximize our pellet accuracy. With our attachments, we've maximized our damage and range potential with the Forge Tac Marauder muzzle for the sound suppression, damage range, and of course the tighter pellet spread. We've also got the XRK 30-inch sport barrel for the damage range, tighter pellet spread, and of course the tube ammo capacity increasing to 10 rather than just having 8, which is very cool. We've also included the Dragon's Breath rounds just for the incendiary damage. We do lose a little bit of damage range with this, but we do have other range attachments to make up for this loss here. We've also got the no stock for the movement speed and aim down sight speed benefits that we do get, and depending on your style, any variation of laser can be incredibly effective. 1 or 5 milliwatt lasers if we're planning on hip firing a lot, which can get the job done but can be a little bit unreliable, or you can use the TAC laser if you're after maximum aiming down sight. Like, you whip up those sights and get that tight pellet spread is very effective as well, so you can choose either one of these options. This is one of my favorite weapons this year because of the range and power, which is a perfect for our 8 slot on this list. In the 7 slot, we've got the MP7. I'm more of a fan of the MP7 in Warzone rather than in multiplayer. I feel like there are just better options available, but that doesn't mean the MP7 isn't incredibly effective. You get one of the fastest fire rates in-game, which is always worth something, and better than you'd expect range and minimal recoil. Definitely a good weapon and one of the better SMGs for sure. As for the attachments that we've got, we've focused on increasing our range while minimizing the already low recoil. Here we do of course have the monolithic suppressor again for our damage range and sound suppression, the recon barrel for the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, the ever reliable no stock option for the previously mentioned movement speed and aim down sight speed. We've also got the Merc foregrip for the recoil control and hip fire accuracy. Again, quick tip, if you do throw on the 5mm laser with this, we do get loads of bullets to hip fire at people, and we can be very effective with this, which is loads of fun. And lastly, the 50 round mags for an increase on the default 40 round magazine. This is definitely one of the best SMGs with a great fire rate, better than you'd expect range, no recoil, and great handling and mobility. A perfect number 7 on our list here. Number 6, we've got the AK-47. I always forget my love for the AK-47 and then I make a video like this and I love it all over again. People see the AK as a high recoil, high damage monster that is way harder to control than your M4s and of course your Grau 5.56s. But with the right attachment setups, we can be just as accurate as those weapons and deal great damage and range and still be mobile enough to rack up those kills. Basically what I'm saying is don't sleep on the AK-47. People used to compare the two between the M4 and the AK to decide the best gun in the game. Anyway, as for the attachments, we do have the monolithic suppressor for the sound suppression and damage range, of course, the 23-inch Romanian barrel for the damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control, which is courtesy of this neat little handle here. We do, of course, have two options here in the stock slot for the skeleton stock and the no stock. Both of these sort of influence the way you do want to play, get those sights up, and allow us to move around the map a little bit faster in varying amounts. In the ammunition slot, we do have the 5.45 by 39mm 30-round mags for the increased fire rate and, of course, recoil control. And the stippled grip tape rounds out our class here for the aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. You can also throw on the fully loaded perk as well if you are planning on going on those super long streaks instead of the stippled grip tape, because you're very unlikely to find spare ammo lying around for this thing, which is a fantastic assault rifle that is super slept on in this game in the 6 slot. In the 5 slot, we do have the Kar 98K. My opinion of the Kar 98K continues to rise. I just love quickscoping with this thing. I'm not very good at it, but I still enjoy it a lot because it is super fun and one of the most fun things you can do in this year's Call of Duty. With a one-shot kill to the head and I believe most of the torso, we get a very reliable one-shot kill. People typically don't get a chance to react if you're being accurate with your shots, plus if you're a bot like me, hardscoping or just regular sniping is also very effective here. For our attachments, we are going with maximum aim down sight speed. We want the tac laser for the aim down sight speed. We want the sniper scope for, I guess, like regular sniping. We want the F-Tac Sport Comb for aim down sight speed. We want the stipple grip tape for the aim down sight speed. And of course, we want the focus perk. So when we do get shot while we're aiming, our aim doesn't go to the moon. This is a very mobile class built purely for the fastest aim down sight time available while still being an effective sniping class. Definitely one of my favorite weapons this year, and it's not even in the sniper class, it's a marksman rifle. But don't tell anyone, it's fine. This does belong in the 5 slot on our list, one of my favorite guns for sure when I'm just looking to have a good time. In the 4 slot, we've got the M4 clone with a faster fire rate. Well, not really, but the stats are very similar. I've always considered the Ram 7 to be one of the best guns in the game, and it's been at number 2, 3, and 4 on our previous lists. I just love weapons with high fire rates, you just shred people so quickly, and when they added basically an M4 with a higher fire rate, I was in. Good damage, good range, fast fire rate, good handling, good mobility. Everything about the Ram 7 is just good. But that's sort of where it ends. It's not amazing, it's just good. It's definitely one of those weapons that will get you a lot of kills, but it's just like, it's good, basically. For our attachments, we do have, you guessed it, the monolithic suppressor, the FSS Ranger barrel for the range, velocity, and recoil control, of course. We've also got the Commando foregrip to control our recoil stabilization, which is the horizontal recoil. We do, of course, also have the 50-round mags just for the increased ammo capacity because 30 can feel a little bit short sometimes because of the high fire rate. And, of course, the stippled grip tape as well just to get those weapons up and faster down range. This is a fantastic class that unfortunately gets outshined by 2 better assault rifles. I really do like the Ram 7 though. It is one of my personal favorites weapons in the game because the iron sights are very clean and it just feels nice to use. Perfect for the number 4 slot on our list. In the 3 slot, I've already revealed my choice via the background gameplay, but I definitely had to think about these last 3 choices very carefully. We've got 3 obvious contenders for the best guns in the game, and in the 3 slot, we're going with the MP5. This is controversial, but other people would definitely put this at number 1 or number 2 on their list, and it is a fantastic weapon, don't get me wrong. The MP5 is by far the best SMG in the game, with decent fire rate, great damage per bullet, good range, fast handling, and mobility. It's basically got it all covered, and as for our attachments, we're looking to add on to these already great qualities. We've got the monolithic integral suppressor for the sound suppression and bullet velocity. Hot tip, any barrel that does say it increases our bullet velocity but doesn't mention damage range also improves our damage range. With this barrel, we get roughly a 15% increase to our damage range. This is info courtesy of the exclusive ace for that hot tip. We've also included the F-Tac collapsible stock for the movement speed and aim down sight speed bonuses. We've got the Merc foregrip to control our recoil as usual. The hipfire spread is pretty reliable up close on the MP5, and with this attached we can again be improved by adding the 5mm laser. Just a thought though, we do have the 45 round mags just for increasing our ammozine capacity to spray those bullets, and lastly as usual the stippled grip tape of course. This is definitely the best SMG in the game and one of the best overall weapons for sure. It does fall down a little bit when it's compared with the range of the other weapons on this list though. Number 2 slot, we have of course got the Grau 556. I feel like this is definitely one of the best weapons in the game with very similar stats compared to the M4, and when you're comparing your weapon to the God Gun, you're already on the right track. Great damage, excellent range, minimal recoil, decent handling and mobility combined into one of the best weapons in the game for sure. As for our attachments, we basically have the usual setup on these assault rifles with the monolithic suppressor for the 10%-ish range increase. We want the 26.4-inch Archangel barrel for our range, velocity, and recoil control, of course. We also have the Commando foregrip for the horizontal recoil control as usual. We've got the 50-round mags for the extra bullets while avoiding the increased mobility and handling negatives from the 60-round option, and the no stock option for the handling and mobility stats that we usually get here. This is definitely one of the best guns in the game for sure, just pipped out of the number 1 slot by one weapon, and we've already talked about it in this little breakdown here. In the number 1 slot, we've got the God Gun, the M4A1, still the weapon all other weapons are compared to, of course. Still so strong in this game with great damage, excellent range, not too much recoil, and decent handling and mobility. This just feels right. I've been using it more recently, and when I'm making class setups for other weapons, you do sometimes forget just how good these top weapons are. Like, why would anybody use anything else outside of these guns? Well, the answer is fun, of course, but still, if you are going to play seriously, you do want one of the weapons on this list. And sort of towards the higher end, our attachments follow a very similar vein to our Grau 556 class setup with the monolithic suppressor as well for the increase to our range and sound suppression. The Corvus Custom Marksman or the stock M16 Grenadier barrel are both fantastic options for giving us the stats we need with the range, velocity, and control, of course. Again, we've got the Commando foregrip here for the recoil stabilization. Again, we do have the 50-round mags over the 60-round mags for the lessened handling and mobility decreases, and either the stippled grip tape or the no stock, of course. No stock is typically the standard option to improve the mobility and ADS speed. If you aren't running this M4 class, your M4 is probably built for a specific game mode, or it's just plain built wrong. Simple as that. Alrighty, so that was our latest top 10 best guns in Modern Warfare, each with a very viable, powerful class setup. These are some of the best class setups in the game, and we'll be looking at a similar video very soon for Warzone as well. We are, of course, very, very close to 1,550 subscribers, so it would be fantastic if we could get to 1,600 very, very soon. So make sure you do subscribe with those notifications turned on if you haven't already done so you don't miss out on any more of the best class setups in Modern Warfare. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!